main event, we have Leon Edwards versus Kamaru Usman. Leon Edwards, the champion, in reverse of the last time this matchup was made. This is the rematch, like I said, the rubber match of the trilogy, and we are at an interesting point in the trilogy. I don't know exactly how this next fight will go. I think Leon Edwards would do best to definitely get on his bike a lot faster than he did in the last fight, because it seemed like even though the fight, I would say Kamaru Usman dominated the fight, it seemed like Leon Edwards, I'm not sure if he got tired or just kind of, I'm not sure what it was, but it seemed like at a certain point in the fight, he just kind of slowed down. And then he picked it up, obviously, in the fifth round, getting the TKO or the knockout. But I think if Kamaru Usman could replicate his plan, he can win. But I think if Leon Edwards can get more in the rhythm early, this fight can be very interesting and very close. So I like to pick Kamaru Usman because I feel like when it comes to the ground game, he's just way more dominant in that area than I would say Leon Edwards is in his area in comparison to the fight. Because let's not say, Kamaru Usman can't necessarily do any damage on the feet, because he was hanging in there for 4 out of 5 rounds. So I would like to give this fight to Kamaru Usman for the third round by decision. I'm sorry, third fight.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you as well. I think Kamaru Usman is going to win by decision. I think this fight is actually going to be a bit more competitive than the first fight. For those who remember the first fight, I think the judges had a 3-1 going into that fifth round. Usman was kind of like having his way in a sense. He was pressing him against the cage. He was trying to knock him out and shit like that, dragging him down. He was having it. I feel like in that fifth round, you could tell Leon Edwards was a little deflated, but his coaches, they got him right back in the fight. And then boom, head kick, and then the rest was history. I don't think Leon Edwards is going to pull off another head kick. I don't. I think that is lightning in the bottle. Congratulations, Leon, and you should always celebrate that for the rest of your life. I think this fight is going to be a little more competitive because I think Leon is going to fix the holes that he had. I expect Kamaru Usman to take more of a heavy clinch. You might see some more takedowns approaching this fight. You're going to see. This is probably going to be the Usman that fought Masvidal at Fight Island. Probably the Usman that fought who was the welterweight, the Viking welterweight everybody was hyped for, but Usman beat him and he started doing that 30%. Emil something, right?
I can't even remember, man, but I know who you're talking about. I gotta look it up.
Listeners, let us know. Viewers, let us know. I think you're going to see that. You're going to see a more safe, cautious Usman who's not really going to try to get in some striking exchanges. He's really just going to pressure Leon, drag him down, takedowns. If the TKO or if the ground and pound is there, he's going to try to go for it. I don't think you're going to see Usman taking a lot of risks. I think Usman is going to – I'm not going to say he's going to play it safe, but don't expect boxing Usman. I think actually I'm going to be 100% real. We might not never see boxing Usman again. The only time we'll see Usman box and try to KO somebody is if that person doesn't have good striking. If they don't have good striking, expect to see a highlight KO. But since Leon Edwards, who's fantastic on the feet, by the way, I don't see Usman trying to play that type of game. I don't think he wants to get knocked out again or picked off and beat on the feet. I think he's going to strike, to take down, to push against the fence, wear him down, rough him up a little bit. If he can score a finish, cool. But I just don't see that happening. My pick is Usman by decision. It's going to be a little competitive, but don't be surprised, listeners, if you see a 49-46, 48-47 at best.
The fighter you were referring to was Emil Weber Meek.
There we go. Yep, I knew it was Emil something.
Yeah.
So, that performance from Usman did not get him any fans at all.
Hey, I mean, that was around the time when he was just taking people down and working them to death.
Yeah.
Damian Maya time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, hey, I think it's going to be an exciting fight to watch. I'm excited to see UFC 286, or at least,
Yeah.
the fights that we've talked about. I'm definitely excited for those. So,
Yeah, I'm happy. 5 p.m. time. I think it's going to be I'm excited. Early time, I should say, and I think I think it's going to be a good card. I know some people are like, "Oh, this card is kind of mid a little bit." Yeah, at the main event, we all want to see, but remember the Islam Makhachev and the Alexander Volkanovski card wasn't that great either, and it turned out to be an exciting card. So I feel like people should just give this a chance, top to bottom, watch it, and if it turns out to be a dud, then hey, it's not your first time watching MMA. Well, if you're watching this podcast, it's not your first time watching MMA. But if it turns out to be great, be like, see, told you, just give it a chance. So I'm not expecting like fireworks from this card, but I'm expecting to see some good fights.
do you have anything else for the listeners?
Uh, Basically, just follow us at the Highly Advised Podcast on Instagram, Advise Highly on Twitter, and subscribe to us on YouTube at the Highly Advised Podcast. Thank you, listeners and viewers, as always. We definitely going to be back here next week reviewing the card. Um, Listeners, viewers, if you guys have suggestions for us, let us know. We'll definitely like to bring that up and talk about it, and we might even give you a shout out with it. I'm eager for UFC 286. I know Nigel is because he already mentioned it, and hopefully you guys watching this or listening to this is as well.
All right, y'all. Well, we'll see y'all next week. Have a good one. We're out. Peace.